Somebody just wrote Katie is the tits. Is that a compliment? Thank you. I okay. Hi, let's see.
Oh
Well,
no.
Mitch Jackson. Come on
Hi,
down.
Katie.
Hello, Mitch.
Katie,
Hi, Mitch.
I th- hi, Katie. I think that was a compliment.
Okay.
Only on Spreecast, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, listen. You're welcome. I wanted you to know before I ask my question that my wife and I are big fans of yours,
Uh,
and we've had a boutique litigation firm here in Southern California for the past 27 years. When we're mentoring young trial lawyers, especially female trial lawyers, I tell them in front of a jury, be like Katie Couric.
oh, that's
How would she come across? I mean, you are so lovable and you are so comfortable to listen to and watch. That's my advice to the young female trial attorneys coming through our court system. So I just wanted to share
That's
that
such
with
a
you. But
nice
here's my
compliment. You know
question.
what, Mitch? That's so funny because my husband was a litigator. He was a white collar criminal defense lawyer, and he used to say that I should be a prosecutor, but that I would ask for the death penalty for
Oh.
minor infractions because I think he thought maybe I was a bit of a hard ass in our marriage. No, I wasn't really, but he was just sort of kidding. But I think I used to want to be a lawyer and I used to want to be a prosecutor because I think that would have been a really fun profession. So, do you guys do? You obviously, what kind of legal work do you do?
You know what? We do all litigation and trial work, so similar to your husband, but rather than defense work, we prosecute cases for individuals and families. I think you found your niche. I think you made a better decision taking the path that you decided to choose. But listen, here's my question.
Yeah.
My question is, by the way, I want you to know that I have a date next month with with my wife for a joint colonoscopy. So we're going in
Excellent.
together. We have a yes,
How
and a lot of
romantic,
that has to do
Mitch.
with you. So.
You can have sort of a
You know,
romantic cocktail the night before, and hopefully, I just want to say I hope you have separate bathrooms, Mitch. That's all I'm going to say.
hey, all I'm going to tell you is that I'm a romantic guy, and there will be roses involved.
Okay, good.
Uh, Here's my question. I am into uh, tapping into people's minds as to success techniques, things that went through your mind, and some of the decisions that you've made over the years. You're a superstar in the Today Show. You rolled the dice. You took a big risk, and you went over to CBS News to be the first, woman on the nightly news, which was a huge risk, which was probably, coming from a very comfortable situation to rolling the dice and putting yourself out there. And now you're coming back to the Katie Show in the afternoons. Can you share with our Spreecast viewers what went through your mind and what advice do you have for other people who are thinking about making a change and maybe they're afraid to make that change because of the consequences or what other people may think? Do you have any suggestions for those people that are watching?
Yeah, well, that's a good question because I've sort of lived my life that way. In fact, some people can't believe I'm doing this daytime talk show that I'm kind of putting myself out there for splaying myself wide open. But I think for me doing the evening news at CBS, first of all, I was so lucky to get the job on the Today Show. It was just, the harder you work, the luckier you get. Having said that, it was just good timing for me, and I loved doing that job. But I think that when the CBS job became available and I was going to be a solo female anchor, I thought it was a great opportunity to show that women could be competent and confident and do a job like that. I think a lot of things happened sort of from the time I went on CBS in terms of what they were actually looking for. I was, the whole idea was to make an evening newscast a little less formulaic, a little less formal, have more interviews in it, and I think that ultimately, because an evening newscast has an older audience and an audience that is pretty set in its ways, that the notion of tinkering with the format too much might have not been the best idea. So, it was it required a lot of how shall I say flexibility in terms of moving from something I thought the job was going to be to a very different job that I'm not sure I would have done if I had known. But it was really important to me to do the best job I could, to not quit, to kind of stay at it, and to have that opportunity to cover really critically important stories like the earthquake in Haiti and the 2008 election, which I think our political coverage was really great. And to be able to do that job every day was a privilege. Had I known it was going to be that format, I think I might have thought twice about jumping into the fray. But in hindsight, I learned a lot. I think it was very character building, because
Right.
certainly I got criticized a lot. But I'm really glad that I did it. And I think but it wasn't the perfect fit for me ultimately. So when the opportunity to do a daytime talk show came up, I thought, gee, I like live television. I like interacting with people. I'm really interested in so many different topics. I want to be helpful to people. And, I think that everybody is different in terms of advice, because I was very fortunate, because I was in a financial situation, to be honest with you, where I could make a risk and I could go to CBS and
Hmm.
know that the world wasn't going to fall apart if it wasn't successful. So, not everyone is in that position. And I think change is really
Right.
scary when you have a family to support and certain obligations to fulfill. But if you do have the opportunity and you do feel as if it's worth the taking the chance, I do encourage people, because I'm a firm believer in you have to kind of change to grow. I know that sounds like a self-help book, but you have to have new challenges. You have to be a little scared to be truly energized about something. And I think you have to be thoughtful about it. I don't think you should just kind of wing it and say, oh, I'm going to give this a try. I think you have to be methodical and smart and savvy before you kind of jump off that cliff into a new endeavor. But I think that people who don't try new things rarely achieve, greatness, if you will, or rarely have the kind of impact you can have when you take chances in life. Does that
I
make
love
any
it,
sense?
Katie. Thank you very
Does
much.
that sound a little
You know what?
too?
It makes a lot of no.
Okay.
No, actually, it sounds perfect. And what I'd like to, before you guys bounce me off, I would like to just let you know that we'll be DVRing your new show and
Oh,
watching it in the evenings. I think it'd be really smart if you incorporate some Jimmy Fallon social media
oh,
interaction
we're
in your
doing
show.
that.
Bring stuff like this in. Okay, that's because people are into this. And before they bump me off, your thoughts on Ann Curry? We all love Ann. She's done such a great job. What are your thoughts on Ann
A
Curry and
lot.
that
I
whole
think. I think a
situation?
lot of people have asked me this on this chat, and it really broke my
Okay.
heart this morning to see Anne, because I know she's suffering and is feeling a lot of pain with this transition. And I know that it's really hard for everyone on the show. I still have a lot of great friends that I made over those 15 years on the Today Show, and this kind of tumult is really hard for everyone. Um, but I do think Anne
Right.
is a great reporter and loves covering those important international stories, as she said this morning, what's going on in Syria, and what sort of the face of the new poor in this country. And I think she cares deeply about those issues. And I think that she'll do a great job in that venue. And I think she did a good job on the Today Show. But for whatever reason, and I'm not on the inside anymore, um, they didn't feel that the show was on all four cylinders or everybody was
Right.
clicking properly. I happen to think that, that some of the morning shows need to be a little more hard hitting. They need to do some more serious news. I think that the balance of serious and fun has always been why that show is fun to watch, or why these shows are fun to watch. And I think sometimes the
Hmm.
mix has gotten out of whack, and it's become a little too tabloidy or too true crimey. And I think that I know that everybody on the morning shows strives to have the right balance, but I think somehow they've gotten a little too soft. And there's a time and place to dress up for Halloween, or to do funny, segments, or do cooking segments, but you don't want that to be the whole diet. And I think that, there are a lot
Right.
of really important issues going on in the country and in the world. And I think that they need to get back to some of the serious subjects as well, a little more than they are now.
Katie, you've got a lot of fans. Thank you very much.
Thank
Keep up
you.
the good work.
Bye, Mitch. Thank you
All
so
right. Bye-bye.
much.